Hello everyone, welcome back to Spider-Man. Oh, sorry, hold on, let me restart the intro. I'm not gonna cut this out, but let me restart it. What's going on, Thundies? Welcome back to a new epic video. In this epic 100% video, you guys are gonna watch so much stuff go down. Alright, Thundies, let's do this. I'm sorry. And just because of that, I'm gonna shout out Thunder Gaming. He's a good guy. Either way, this episode is a good episode because guess what we're doing this episode? Jack squat. In fact, all we're doing this episode is finding these cat things all around the world. There are 12 of them, and we already have one of them due to a story, so we're gonna start off today's episode with that because it's much easy. It's just very easy to do that, and we get a suit out of it, and that's pretty cool. Another camera. Gotta be, hands down.
Are you jealous I'm visiting my other man?
Yeah, what other man?
So, but you should know bad boys aren't my type.
Bad boys. Dude, you know what show's a good show that, like, will always get you to think about, like, anytime you hear the word, like, anytime you hear the title of the show, you always should think of the music immediately. Or the opposite way, you hear the music, you immediately think of the show. Bad Boys and Cops. You know, bad boys, what you gonna do? That's all I'm gonna sing, because I could get copyrighted. And there's really nothing I could do. But, yeah, I don't know, it's just like something it's just that one thing that's like you always think of Cops when you think of Bad Boys, or you always think of, when you hear the song, you always think of Cops, or at least that's just me. It's very possible that it's just me, but I don't know. Also, hey, what's up? Explosives? Cool. I deal with those a lot, so I don't mind. Wait. What is it, like? Do we just need cough syrup? Like, what's up with that? Alright, so we just gotta disarm a bomb. Nothing too crazy now. Hello? Oh, okay, I thought I didn't get anyone. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right. Okay, are they just not... I guess they just don't even want to realize that I'm here? I mean, I'm fine with that if they don't want to even think that I'm here. Alright, let's get this super awesome hacking mission done. Nah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta be an awesome hacker. You know what I'm saying, boys? Awesome hacker alert. I was today years old when I found out that Weird Al was on Wheel of Fortune in 1994. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. I actually figured that out because of his appearance on Game Grumps. Yeah, Weird Al actually was on Game Grumps for a guest episode, which is awesome, and I think he's a really funny dude. I think his music is great, and I think even when he was talking in the Game Grumps episode, it was great. Go check the episode out if you haven't already checked it out. I think it's a good episode of Game Grumps, and yeah, they're overall just really, it's funny guys. But also just that video in particular was really good. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? I should probably say this. When it comes to Black Cat, I feel like her appearance in this main game isn't all that much. You guys will see a lot more of her in the DLC, especially the first one, because it's kind of based all around her. You know, that's kind of the idea. So don't worry, you will get to see her a little bit more if you did want to see more of her. I definitely understand if you wanted to see more of her. She's an interesting character, and her kind of arc in this game is pretty cool, I think. Also, hi. So there's that. Yep. There is that. Man, I gotta do an episode where I do the research stuff, too. Man. Going for 100% in a game is really difficult, especially a game like this where there's just a ton of collectibles. It's just a lot. It is definitely just a lot. But don't worry, once we're done getting all the collectibles in the main game, I won't have to get the collectibles for too long, because then we have, we have to beat the game, and then we have to deal with the DLCs, and then that's when I have to deal with more collectibles. And most of the collectibles in the DLCs can be done in mere, like maybe an hour, all of them. Because I feel like the ones that take the most are normally the crimes. Because always with the DLCs, there are like... The first one I feel like has the most collectibles to it. Then the second and third DLC are just like... It's either the first... It's either the top portion of the map or the bottom. I mean, I know which DLCs have which map, but you guys will figure that out when we actually get there. Shouldn't be too long. I think on our percentage on this game, which I can actually check in a minute here. We're at 33%, which is really something. Did that increase it at all? No. But yeah, just it says campaign progress. No, what it means by that is, like getting everything and stuff. Like, I do think it's a little confusing when it says campaign. I like that, but it's just like, oh, it's in total at 33% until 100%. Until 100%, you get everything. Not, oh, you're this far done with the story. So there's that. Also, I feel like we haven't heard J. Jonah Jameson say anything in a while. So sometimes you just gotta hear him. He's a good journalist. I don't watch game theory often, but I feel like when he did the one video saying that J. Jonah Jameson was a good journalist, it wasn't all about the video, but it was definitely the intro. I definitely agree with him in that fact, because he really did just like, he's just successful, and I like it. I don't know. He's good at his job, but I feel like his values are not that great. I don't know. Reminds me of certain people nowadays. They want to find just anything to criticize a certain person about, like the media and PewDiePie. That works perfectly. PewDiePie is Spiderman, and the media is J. Jonah Jameson. It's almost like it's a pretty close comparison. Or really any media against any internet celeb. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I feel like the media just really doesn't like basically influencers, as they would call them. That idea. They don't like them. Or at least I've noticed that they don't really like male white men influencers, but we're not going to get into that. Either way, they don't like them. And I've always, I understood why, but at the same time, what's the point? What's the point? Just, gotta accept the competition. Don't try to, slander people because you don't like what they do. I don't know. I just feel like, especially like Vox and like the Wall Street Journal, they always rub me the wrong way in the fact how they present things. Plus, they never really outline the good things that these influencers have done. Like, PewDiePie raised, I think it was $250,000 for Indian kids, for charity, so that they are, better off and all that jazz. But then, he gets criticized by the media a week later for doing something that was either meant as a joke or is just taken out of context. I don't know. It's just one of those things that just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't feel like in the long run they're gonna end up, surviving all that long, because they don't take in other opinions, and they try to write an article to get the most clicks. I mean, I understand why. It's money, they want it. It's kind of, capitalist idea, get the money fast. But still, in the end, you should probably want to do something that makes more sense and will get people to think you are a more credible source, because then people use you more. Now that I say that, I mean, it's true, but at the same in the same way, clickbait does also make people want to click your stuff. and people are so gullible to the fact that they'll just listen and they won't actually do their own research. That's why a lot of people just don't like or are afraid of new technology and stuff. Because they don't put the time and effort to understand. They immediately just judge. And I think that's one of the scarier things, especially with new technology, to be worried of. People putting false bans or trying to lock things up that they don't understand. The same thing happened back when, I think it was Pablo. Wow, I meant to say Plato. I don't know why I said Pablo. That hurt me inside. Well, Plato, when poems started becoming very, a big thing during Plato's time, he actually criticized them and made it, and said the same idea of, it's going to affect our children and it's all that jazz. But in reality, we use, poems as a well-respected method of writing now, and it hasn't affected kids as much as books have. I feel it's the same idea with video games. If you say video games cause violence, well, you must also think that other types of media causes violence, because they have the same thing. News is basically, let me find what's negative with the world. Books. Look at Lord of the Flies. A kid literally gets flattened by a rock. Just killed. Just because, why not? And, it's kind of gory. There are books out there that, that go in detail into sexual assault and rape. And there's a book that Hitler, one of the worst, the word isn't traitor. What am I thinking of? What word am I thinking of? What word am I thinking of? Dictator. There we go. Dictator. One of the worst dictators / chancellors of Germany that's ever been alive. But he has a book, and it's quote unquote respected media, because it's a book, and it's him expressing his ideas. Be it not a good guy whatsoever. He is not at all a good guy, and he deserved more than to just end his own life. Of course, he led to the killings of 6 million people. At the same time, Stalin led to more, but we will get into this into a different episode. But I don't know, video games just get a bad rap because they're new technology, and they're linked to new influencers now, or it's really influencers are linked to video games, which gives them more of a bad rap. It's a whole thing, and I think it's just people need to do more research, and they'll get I don't know, they'll just get more understanding of stuff. If you're curious how I know so much information about just this stuff right now, it's because I enjoy to be informed on this, just in case a argument comes up. Also, I say a lot. I realize that. But yeah, it's just like, if the argument comes up, I can defend it, and because it's something that I am so passionate about, I think it's definitely like something that needs to be argued against. But at the same time, I'm writing an essay about video games and violence and how they don't cause it, and their other benefits kind of even if it did cause it, it outweighs its accused violence causing. That didn't make as much sense, but it's fine. Either way, there you are. Cornelius, that's such a good name. Can I say, I know we're kind of like just going back and forth here from random stuff, but Cornelius is such a good name. Like, you can't tell me it's not a good name, because it so is. Freaking Cornelius. I'm willing to, so if I have 2 children, both of which are sons, alright? Not saying I'm going to absolutely have a son, but if they both happen to be sons, they both happen to be boys, I'm going to name one Brian, because I'm a junior, right? I'm Brian Jr., basically. But at the same time, I want to be the second, because I don't know, just like that idea of like having a first, second, and third of something is just so cool to me. Dude, we're gonna be monarchs. All right, that's all that's gonna happen. We're gonna be in ancient Britain, and we're just gonna hit him with some monarchs. Either way, I'm gonna name my second child Cornelius, and it's gonna be so good. So good. He'll love me more than any person ever alive. Man. I feel like that last like little tangent I went on there is like my best ever, just trying to think of a topic to talk about, especially when it's like we're doing nothing. Let me say, like, I'm not super great at just talking out of my ass, but it's definitely well, I guess I am pretty good at it, because when you're talking out of your ass, it's more of like a it's more of just like a random thing. In this case, it does happen to be a subject that did get brought up because of J. Jonah Jameson, thank his soul. But I'm just really good. I feel like, and normally I'm really good at just talking random stuff, but I feel like if it's a subject, when it comes to like things I just want to talk about, I'm really good at. Hold on. See, this is what I mean. I'm really good at talking about things that I want to talk about, but I'm not very good at thinking of things to talk about, if that makes sense. If not, I completely understand. I understand that I'm a very confusing person. It's something that you get used to by people telling you that that's the fact. Either way, again, that even in itself was confusing to understand. But, you know, I think when it comes to certain topics, I'm really good at speaking. Like, in that case, I think I was that car exploded. I think in that certain case, I was able to successfully speak my mind and not really come up with many blanks. And it was kind of just, I did my research. So that's it. I guess that's really it. Either way, you know, I have free time and you guys have the comments. How are you guys liking the game so far? I know I don't talk about the game often. I was actually talking to somebody about how, you know, they watch my videos and the only reason they watch it is because they hear me talking. Not because I talk about the game, but because they want to hear me talking. Because it's such a, I don't know, I guess I'm El Randomo. But it's, I don't know, I want to know how you guys enjoy the game so far. It's always nice to just talk about the game here and there. I think it's definitely it's definitely something we should talk about more. It's kind of the thing in general that we're doing everything off of, but it's, you know, that kind of idea. But fat butt, yeah, you guys liking it? Say in the comments, and I would love to read it, because I actually do enjoy reading the comments, because I don't know, it's just interesting. I like seeing other people's opinion, and it's one thing that I don't see a lot of other people doing, especially people that happen to be stubborn. I know a lot of stubborn people, and normally I am one of them, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gotten slowly better at not being as stubborn. I like understanding other people's point of views and hopefully getting to an understanding of this is why I'm right and this is why you're wrong. No, but I just like getting to an understanding. I don't know. Sometimes if I just say what's on my mind just out loud, I feel relieved. But at the same idea, I just in the same way, like I just, you know, kind of say what's on my mind. I realize the more weird I am, or the more like it's either the more weird I am or the more normal I am. Because I feel like most people, I mean, if you're stubborn, you won't. But I feel like most people enjoy hearing every side of the story and getting all the information before they truly try to argue something. In my case, there have been multiple times when I do have information. It does happen to be wrong, or I'll remember it incorrectly. And that happens all the time. But I feel like most people will try to get the information first. But there are always people that won't, because that's easy. You know, I feel it's one of the easiest things to do. It's super easy to argue something when you have no facts at all, because you can make up whatever. Like right now, I could say communism is better than capitalism because potatoes. And the thing is, though, that's not completely wrong. It's not 100% wrong, because I think it's the communes, I think that's what they're called. Yeah, they're a thing, and they made potatoes. And I know that because of Adventure Communism. the hit sequel to Adventure Capitalist, which is actually a decent game. I don't know. Adventure Capitalist is something. I think it's like one of the rare clicker games that just really gets me into clickers. It's like that and Cookie Clicker were like my two big clicker games for a while, and then I started playing other clicker games because they're better, of course, because that's how that works. Also, can you die? Like, I have no issue with dealing with anyone else other than the sword guys. You're gonna notice this a lot if they don't have guns or just normal weapons, or okay, if they're a normal henchman with guns, you know, maybe a shield or a weapon, and maybe even a brute, you'll see me take them down fairly easily. But if they have a, you know, you're gonna see two whips, a guy with whips, guy with the sword, they're always the worst. And in the DLC, you're gonna see a brute with a machine gun, and they are just the worst. They are just the worst enemy. Oh my god, they're so bad. They really are, and it's one of the main reasons why I will never play this game on any higher difficulty than dang difficult to even want to think about. I just realized this episode is not only just like Cat, but it's also just fighting crimes, and I'm fine with that because we need to get those done for 100% completion. And we're definitely not just going to make an episode on that because it would take too long, trust me. But, I don't know. I enjoy doing crime now. It's just one of those things. Now, me saying that out loud, that sounded a lot worse. Yes, I enjoy doing crime. It's one of my favorite pastimes to do cocaine off of a clown's butt. But it's just, you know, one of those things. Crimes at all. We still have 2 factions to find out about. And, you know, they both have their own 5 crimes per thing. So we have plenty of crimes to deal with. And if we, you know, finish up, you know, the 10 we have now, it's not going to be all that bad.
Felicia's leading me on a chase.
Dude, Felicia, it's such a good name. There's so many good names that are just, like, really good because they're really bad. Felicia's just genuinely a good name. It's not a bad name whatsoever, and if your name's Felicia, you know, it's better than other names. I don't know. I can't think of one off just the top of the head, but at the same time, if I say a random name like that, I think it's just a bad name. Oh, I know it's a bad name. RoboCop. Yeah, there's someone named their kid that, and it got banned in this place. I don't remember what place it was, but they got banned. Either way. I guess, like, you know, I can't really say a name that would be bad, because then someone's gonna be named that, and I'm gonna comment on the video like, what the hell, dude? That's my name. You just called my name stupid. And then they can have the same reason to call, you know, my name, Brian, stupid. And at the same time, they can say Crash is stupid. I'm completely fine with that. That doesn't hurt me as much. I mean, Brian really doesn't hurt me, and most insults I take pretty just like, oh, really? Thanks. Like, insults to me are something that just it's a weird compliment. That's see, you gotta always think of it positive, as positive as possible. You know, calling someone, you know, like, okay, hear me out. All right. So if you remember a few, what was it, 200 videos ago, I made a video with, well, actually it was streamed, but it ended up being a good video. Or, no, it wasn't streamed. What was it? It's a good question. Either way, I ended up making this video called Rock, Paper, Scissors, You're Gay. And, you know, calling someone gay back then was an insult. But, not back then. Last year wasn't an insult, but it was more of that kind of idea. But using it as an insult was used for so long. Or, you know, using the word queer or something like that. But, you know, it can really be taken as a compliment now because, you know, everyone other than homophobic people likes gay people because most of them aren't bad people. Of course, there are bad people in every group. There are bad white males, there are bad black males. There are bad white and black women. You know, that kind of idea. But it's. I feel like when you think of the gay community or the homosexual community, you always think of just nicer people, not because you know they're just the nicest group, but I feel like a few reasons, and this is my personal take on it, not bashing anybody, and it's just like my idea on it, because it's, I don't know, it's just something that I feel like I've observed. I haven't done you yet, really? That's surprising. I thought I would have. But I feel like you when you think of a homosexual male or homosexual female, okay, the female might be a little bit different because of the media I consume, but I still see them as this. I feel like you see, or you feel like you just imagine someone who's really nice, or someone who's just like either really open about being homosexual, or just like in general just a nice person. I feel, right? That's what I feel personally. And you may see me especially with my jean shorts video where I say I sexually identify as jean shorts. I just would like to say this now because it kind of crossed my mind, especially because that same person that said he watches my videos because I talk about random stuff, and it was like, you should probably take that video down. It could offend someone. And I'm like, I mean, I see where you're coming from, but at the same idea, people know that I'm not like that. Or at least, I hope they do, right? But I feel like the humor, it can be funny, and I feel like it's funny, all right. But at the same time, I feel like you also need to understand where I lie on the whole, where the gay community are, where on my good side. I haven't, they haven't done anything to me, and I haven't done anything to them. Actually, a lot of my friends happen to be homosexual just because it's just kind of the culture now, What is it? 1/3 of the whole world's homosexual. I'm just joking when it comes to that, but it's But back to the whole like what you imagine them. I feel like when you notice them. When you really imagine them as good people, and I feel like this is not discrediting them whatsoever, but I feel like it's also spreading light on them and doing that, like just kind of like showing that they're good people. And like, even speaking of homosexuality, there's stuff like this. And the games that I consume, I gobble down the disc and I play them. It's just more of like their community is kind of spread. I noticed it in Watch Dogs 2. I noticed it in this. There's other games I've noticed it. I can't remember which ones, but I've definitely noticed them. But it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like their culture's been spread around. Like, oh my god, look at the Loud House on Nickelodeon. There's been multiple times where, what is her name? Luna? Where she's been shown to be homosexual or something. And it's just something like that that's just, I don't know, interesting. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, me saying this is really stupid, not because, it's offensive in any way, but people will say, being political at all is bad, but I'm not being political. I'm more saying that I'm completely fine with the homosexual community and that I feel like they're nice people. That's it. Man, this episode, let me say, this episode's gotten a lot in it. I talked about video. Oh. Okay. Well, what? This is weird. I am down there. Okay. Alright. So.
Hello, cat. Oh, man.
Yeah, I started the episode off with saying, fighting the argument against violence in video games and how it's caused. And then we went into, what did we talk about? I don't even remember. Remember what we were talking? Hostage situation. I should probably deal with that before getting this. Yeah, and then, we went to homosexuality. How did we even get to that again? It's a good question. How did we even get to homosexuality? That is a decent question. Huh. I remember talking about this video when we fought, the when we fought another one that was just like this. We were talking about commenting on the video. How did that turn into homosexuality? I'm gonna have to rewatch the video because I genuinely don't remember. I mean, it's whatever. It's a topic nonetheless, but it's just, how did we get there? Look, I remember how we got to the journalist thing because it was J. Jonah Jameson and I talked about how good of a journalist he was, but how do we get to... I mean, it really doesn't... I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, we talked about it and that's that. But I feel like a lot of topics today happen to be very heavy-hitting and controversial topics. I feel like I'm the new Northern Lion. If you don't know who that is, he's a funny haha egg, not because of the meme, but because that's kind of his joke for a while because he's a bald man. And you should check him out on Twitch and YouTube. His name, and for both of them, is Northern Lion. I feel like his whole, like, content, which he plays a lot of Binding of Isaacs, he's up to, like, I think his content and his commentary is just really interesting. Because it's his views and his, like, he's just some good stories. And then his Twitch is just funny. So, there's that. But yeah, I'm happy with today's episode so far. Of course, we're not done. We still gotta do this, but I mean, we're getting close to ending it, so there's also that. Oh, was my name-o.
This looks like everything. Financial data on the Magia crime families.
The Magia. It's almost like it's leading into the DLC. Almost. Hiya.
Dancing with the little spider.
And then eating him.
So imprisoning him in a jar against his will. Cute. Very cute.
Ah, looks like you guys have a lovely relationship.
What's this?
Man, let me say, she's decent at some art action.
You raced here to redeem me, didn't you? You're adorable. And cute, too.
Thank you.
I made you something more flattering.
That's cool.
You got it. Bonnet.
This is one of my favorite suits. When I actually unlocked it on my playthrough of the game, I didn't stop wearing it until the end of the game.
The Black Cat just robbed the police department's evidence lockup.
So there's that.
What? How? This place is like Fort Knox.
All those cats you found, when they were all together in the evidence room,
You kidding me?
boosted their signal and deactivated the alarms.
She duped me like that? Well,
She played me again.
it makes sounds about right.
Just her old costume and gear.
She let me find 50 million worth of loot just
You know, DC and, you got one of them got Black Cat, the other one's got Catwoman. Sometimes you just gotta look at the similarities. Deathstroke, its counterpart is Deadpool. Deathstroke is such a weird name. I don't know. Like, Deadpool, I understand it because of the movie. Deathstroke, I feel, is a cool name, but I also like his... Like, I don't know. Deathstroke... The more I think about his name... The weirder its origin gets. But I just think Deathstroke as a character is pretty cool. And the fact that you get to play as him in not Assassin's Creed. Was I just about to say Assassin's Creed Origins? Exactly what I was about to say. Batman Arkham Origins. That's pretty cool. You get to play as him for a little bit. Alright, we're going to end today's episode off with this last final crime. And yeah, in the next episode, we'll probably just do the story mission. Because that's easy to do. And I like doing story missions relatively often. We'll also just be using the suit because we needed a suit, and guess what this is? It's a suit, and that's perfect. And that's all we needed. I mean, yeah. I feel like this whole suit a day thing is gonna have to really wait, just because I have no upgrades to actually buy suits, and that's the one reason why I'm basically screwed until I get said upgrades. That's it. I mean, I'm going to get all the backpacks and all the research stations soon enough. It's just... I just gotta do it. Preferably before the end of the episode. But yeah. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Next episode, we're going to go find some evidence against Randall Park and Stephen Young clone Martin Lee. So yeah, there's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to call all your friends Thundies. Peace.